Am I the a-hole for not accepting a dozen roses from my husband after my surgery? I had to have a lumpectomy on one of my breasts due to cancer. My husband took me to the hospital for the procedure and left to go run errands. I had never had this procedure done before, and finding out I had cancer was a scary thing. He said he'd be right back while they were prepping me for surgery. Once I was ready and waiting to go into surgery, the nurse asked if I wanted my husband to come sit with me until it was time to go in. I said yes, but she came back and said she couldn't find him. I sat in the room by myself for an hour and he still didn't show. I went into surgery without any reassurance from him. No kiss on the cheek with an "I love you" or "everything will be okay." It was such a lonely feeling, and I was wishing that I had brought my mom with me instead. The procedure was done within an hour and I was in the recovery room. Once my anesthesia wore off, I was awake and realized my husband still had not returned. At this point, I was getting really worried. The nurse said he wasn't answering his phone and she seemed irritated that he wasn't there. The nurse went on to give me post-surgery directions, which I was only half listening to because I was still kind of out of it. Plus, with my increasing worry of where the hell my husband was. The nurse comes in after a half hour and says, "Sweetie, we are still trying to call him, but if he doesn't get here soon, you won't be able to leave. There's a big storm coming in and this wing will be on lockdown until the storm passes." I could feel the tears welling up in my eyes. I just wanted to go home. 10 more minutes go by and he waltzes in with a dozen roses like he was the most thoughtful husband ever. When I asked where he was, he told me he was at the bar because he was hungry for one of their delicious burgers. This is like of me, and I just want you guys to know that I recognize that. There's another Reddit story similar to this where the husband literally left his wife before her surgery to go cheat on her, and the first thing that popped in my mind was like, it's all, I don't want to say better, but it makes more sense that you're cheating on your wife than going and getting a burger. Like, I almost want him to be lying, you know, because then it makes more sense. I think if someone told me this, I would go ballistic. I'd be like, you skipped out on supporting me through a really serious surgery for a burger. You should have just cheated on me, because either way, we're getting a divorce. I told him that I'd been waiting alone throughout the whole ordeal and that he should have been there for me. He said he was sorry and held out the roses. I told him he could take the roses and shove it, and that I was never having him come with me during a medical procedure ever again because he sucked. I was getting part of my breast removed while he had a tasty burger and a beer. What the hell? Tears streamed down my face the entire ride home. I almost don't believe him. No way there's a man out there that's dumb enough to leave their wife for a burger. I refuse to believe it. Either he's capping or he was dropped on his head way too many times. Did the burger have pickles? That's actually a very extremely important question. If it had pickles, I get it. I want to read the update, bro.